When did you think that was the right time to move to Saudi?
I mean,
Is it the funding that and the partnership that makes it happen, or it was
I
prior to that?
so if you look at Pakistan,
Right.
and Pakistan is an amazing nation, and I'm like fan of Pakistan, but unfortunately, as a nation, just like multiple other countries like Egypt and Africa and all, like I mean, it has multiple, I mean,
Challenges.
challenges which are mix of political and economic, right?
Right.
They've been going on for the last 50 years, and because of that, I mean, I give you an example. 2019, when I moved, the dollar was 100. Today, dollar is almost 300.
300.
So even if I've grown my revenue 5x on a
Just
dollar
2x.
basis,
Yeah, 2.5 or something.
so if I say I grew 10x, I mean, it's still on a dollar basis 2 or 3x, right? So I think that is something that's there.
Yeah.
That is something that you look at also.
I've heard some startups also in Egypt having the same struggle. It's like I earn in rupees or in Egyptian pound and I have to report in dollar. So
Yeah, so I mean,
the game is not fair.
yeah, it's not right. And for me, I realized a year ago that if I want to make this into $100 million revenue business,
Right.
in Pakistan, it might take me like 10 years. Might have gray hair by then. Thank God I don't have any right now. But I think Saudi is very simple. The math revenue is 10x of what we do in Pakistan. So in Pakistan, if a seat is $100 to $150, in Saudi, the same seat is between $1,000 to $1,500.
Oh.
And that's also conservative. I mean, the international players like Surf Corp and Spaces and all even $2,000 plus. So I mean, we just before this we had an all hands with the smaller team over there.
Right.
So my head of strategy, Fahim, was telling us how by doing Saudi, imagine 5 years of work that could have done in Pakistan
Right.
in less than 4 months.
4 months.
You double revenue.
Okay.
I mean, literally double revenue.
So which means 5 years in Pakistan, equivalent of 4 months in Saudi, almost, or 6 months. Let's say 6 months.
It's the 10x game, right?
Okay.
So if Pakistan we have 5,000 seats, Saudi 500 seats will
Is
give you the
enough.
same return as the 5,000, right? So it's just about ability to
Unit
execute.
economics, exactly.
No, but also over there the competition is very tough. So you have to be world class.
Right.
We're not sort of average, but I feel that we're building a world class product here,
Mm.
and that is what we want to do in Saudi and what we're doing today.
But still, I feel Riyadh is much less competitive than Dubai, for example.
That is why we chose Riyadh, because Dubai is very saturated as a market. Saudi, because it just opened up to the world a few years ago, so you don't have as many local players. Don't understand
Even
how-
international players are not there yet.
International players do exist there,
Right.
but our competition is building a strong local brand, which is mid-priced but better quality, and build that brand love like we did here. And maybe you can help us with that sort of
Of course.
localization
Of course. I mean, Wassel has that mission to really bridge the ecosystem and create the synergies that is necessary between Pakistan, Saudi, UAE, Qatar,
Yeah.
Kuwait,
So
Bahrain.
I eventually-
I have a 15-year vision. I can.
Yeah, and our goal also, I think 2027, we look at Qatar, Bahrain, Jordan, Egypt, all those other markets. But for us, I think the next 12 months, 18 months, we want to really open multiple locations.
So we're talking only about Riyadh, or there's other cities that maybe can be explored also for
will
you as
eventually-
Colabs or even other companies.
Today, Riyadh is big enough to even take 4,000 or 5,000 seats from just Colabs. But eventual goal obviously will be to go into other cities like Jeddah and potentially Khobar, Dammam, Makkah. I mean, you can go there, but
It's
Riyadh-
dynamic in the other cities also as Riyadh. I have
demand
no
today-
idea.
But demand in Riyadh today is like off the roof. It's difficult to find good space. People want to find good space. Lots of other smaller problems that you face in other spaces. So, I mean, if you do a good project and a good job, it's a win-win.
So what are the key elements from your 9 months pregnancy experience? What are the key elements that a Pakistani startup or a venture or company has to consider before expanding to Saudi?
I would just say
Because No one can spend 9 months and have the luxury to spend 9 months to enter a market.
So in the 9 months, I would say I spent maybe 4 or 5 months there, and maybe 3 or 4 months
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
I would say I started going to Saudi in 2019.
Right.
My friend, who also our partners to the Rashids, was getting married, and I started seeing Saudi open up.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time like you could go together to a restaurant to eat, to get coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it was closed, right? And women started driving. Then people, foreign companies could own companies there.
Mm-hmm.
Visas started opening up, but I think like it was last year, because I would usually just go for conference or go
Right.
for these events like FI, REAP, and all these things. But then I realized that those are the wrong times to go. And when I started sitting there, they're like, we have to spend time in Riyadh. If you
Meeting
don't
people
spend time in Riyadh, you will not understand the
and
market.
penetrate the
It
market,
was
right?
only this year when I actually started spending time there and started living there,
Mm-hmm.
spending the weekends there, that I realized how the market works, what is the competition, how do you get clients, what is going on. So I think those are sort of different items there.
Because I feel in Saudi, same. I had that feeling at Leap was not the right time. It's like the foreigner are on one side and the local are on one side. They are kind of hidden somewhere, so you don't know what's happening really. And the second thing, I feel it's a lot of one-to-one kind of situation, one-to-one discussion,
At
and
conferences, you don't really get to connect, right? In my opinion, anyone who asks me about Saudi, I'm like, you come and spend a week or 2 weeks there. You come beforehand. You come and meet sort of people.
how do you meet people for the first time? Because let's suppose a Pakistani go to Saudi for 2 3 weeks. How he gonna meet people?
You come to Colabs and you attend one of our events.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you are actually switching to my next question.
That's something that we're trying to push there, because
Uh-huh.
as
So
someone
Collabs will be the platform to meet
Yeah,
the right network of investors, of maybe partners,
so
of
the way we
co-founders.
so the way what we did in Pakistan the last few years, as you
Right.
saw, you work with organizations like Endeavor, IPO, all these different people
Mm-hmm.
to support these founders to also take ahead this network, right?
Right.
And through what we run as our programs, be it through activations, be it through networking, be it through, I don't know, it could be a mixer, it could be someone doing yoga, right? It's just like, as a expat or someone coming into Saudi, either you meet people through what is the concept of a compound, where you're living in these compounds, and I mean, a lot of foreigners live in the same compound. You meet people through that, and you make connections with them. Otherwise, these larger events are too big, like this for 10,000, 20,000 people.
Yeah,
How are
it's
you going to go
impossible.
connect? You're not going to have any meaningful connection. So I think a core part of what we want to build is
The community around.
around what we want to do around our spaces. And I see this to everyone. Everyone asks me, you do all these events at Collabs. How much revenue do you make? I would say less than 2, 3%, less than even 1%. Our events are not done for revenue.
Yeah, I know.
It's done for brand, it's done for community.
Bringing people together.
And I mean, like, core part of what we do is part of that, right? So it's part, how do you connect different communities, be it through entrepreneurship, investors, music, art, creatives. I mean, the whole concept of the community comes from those events. I mean, it doesn't cost much to turn an AC on and give people coffee and tea, does it?
Of course.
But what happens within the space, that's what creates.
And it's not existing now in Saudi, I guess, such spaces right now.
They exist today. I mean, you have incubators and accelerators that are doing events and doing it, but I would say that we want to do it better. We want to program better. I mean, understand how people and work with sort of local players to see how to take it ahead.